Welcome to Twin Creeks here in Woodstock, Georgia. Today, it's USA Elite Select Champions Showcase in the 14A Championship. The Georgia Power and the Worth Cobras getting set for a big matchup here today just outside of the Atlanta area. We are so glad you decided to join us today on ESPN with former MPF player Jamie Loprice. I'm Bernie Gunther. Jamie, you take a look at this new era of travel ball. What an opportunity it is for these players to play in USA Elite Select.
Bernie, it really is. These are 14-under players that are now getting an opportunity to compete on ESPN. It's a pretty big deal for all of them. And
you take a look at this championship game. These are two teams that know each other well. They're right here from the state of Georgia.
Yeah, it's fun, and I was talking to both coaches before. These teams, they know each other. They've played against each other. The coaches started coaching together, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good competitive environment.
Well, for more on the matchup, let's check in now with the third member of our team. Down on the field is Grace Olson. Grace?
Thank you, Bernie. The Georgia Power team roster looks a little different from most of the rosters we've seen at the tournament this weekend. They have 16 girls on the team. That's a lot different from the typical 12 to 13 girls we'll see on one of these rosters. But the coaches told me they've really embraced this situation. They've learned how to use those numbers to their competitive edge and really vie for those starting spots. Now, head coach Jose Tumion has a favorite quote. The quote goes something like this: "As iron sharpens iron, so as one person sharpens another." So I'd say that quote is at play more this season than ever before as these girls find the strength in those numbers. Bernie?
But should be a great matchup. Two outstanding teams, the Worth Cobras and the Georgia Power, and the 14A Championship coming your way from Woodstock, Georgia, right after this on ESPN. Welcome back to the USA Elite Select Champion Showcase. Georgia Power getting set to take on the Worth Cobras here in this 14A Championship game. These two teams already had to play a semifinal earlier today to advance to this championship, but what a great weekend of Fastpitch it was here in the Atlanta area, and it all boils down to these two 7 innings to decide it.
And it's a unique tournament. It started off as a showcase where these girls are trying to showcase in front of college coaches and showcase their talent, and now they're actually entering into a competitive environment where we're playing to a winner.
Georgia Power, they're the visitors today. Here is a look at their lineup. Sydney Swanek will lead things off, followed by Stubbs. Hannah George bats third. Bumgardner is in the cleanup hole. She's the first baseman. The designated player today is Maddie Clay. Following her is Reese at third base. Tunyan, the coach's daughter, is the catcher today, hitting 7th. 8th is Daisy Hess, the shortstop, and Aaron Gallagher rounds out the lineup today for the Georgia Power as they go up against the Cobras. And their pitcher today is Tybee Denton. And certainly she's going to have her work cut out for her against a very explosive Power lineup. She's from Banks County, Georgia, and a Lauren Hager fan. I wonder whether she's turned from being a fan of the Florida Gators to now being a fan of the Dallas Charge.
Yeah, Lauren Hager now entering with the Dallas Charge, getting her professional debut. I've seen a lot of MPF players as their favorite athletes.
And the defense behind looks this way. Denton in left, Waters in center field, Wickland in right. It's Bucket third, Copeland the shortstop, Zika at second base, Webster at first base, and Fitzner is behind home plate here for this 14A championship game. This game is played on a time limit. They either play 7 innings or 90 minutes, so it's so important for them to get off to a great start. Sydney Swanek will lead things off. And how does that adjust things as athletes when you don't have that set 7 innings to decide the game?
Well, fortunately for these athletes, they're used to this in tournament ball where they're playing on that time limit.
Pass on the infield. Denton over to first. Play made in time, and Swanek is retired for out number 1.
Good idea right there by Swanek, trying to lay down a drag, get something going here early.
So Brianna Stubbs now, the left fielder, checks into the box. This is really the age group, Jamie, that these athletes really start to get looked at by colleges all around the country. And this is really where you're trying to make your big move as far as recruiting is concerned.
And both coaches said that before. That's their goal, is to take these athletes to the next level and get them exposed to college coaches.
Brianna Stubbs at 3.9 GPA. She's from Creekview High School. Well-rounded player, outfield, third base, and second base. The 2-0 in the dirt. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Going back to that too, I was out here yesterday and there was a lot of college coaches walking around, some big name schools, watching these athletes.
And a 4-pitch walk issued to Stubbs. So there's one on with one out. And the right fielder, Hannah George, now checking into the plate.
I talked to head coach Jose Tuñon before, and he pointed out that Hannah George is one of those players that we should keep an eye on.
She's batting in the 3-hole spot. Swings through strike one. What are they looking for at this 14A age group? Because this is when you're really finally transitioning from middle school into high school and really should be clicking on all cylinders as far as your career is concerned softball-wise.
There's been some great athletes out here.
Runner going. There's a steal as Stubbs takes second with a stolen base.
And I think you're looking for that. You're looking for those athletes. You're looking at those kids who really understand the game. And then also those kids who compete. And that's what you get to watch here today in a championship game. Who likes to handle pressure and who really likes to get up there and compete.
The 1-1 to George. Way up at her eyes. She swings through it. It's 1-2.
And talk about competing. How about Hannah George? She goes up there, takes a hack, the first pitch. She's up there trying to get her money's worth.
The power threatening with the runner in scoring position. George pops this one back and out of play.
And you see Denton working that rise ball there to George a lot. She's getting her to chase. If you're George, you want to make her bring that pitch down in the zone.
And to George from Northside High School in Columbus, Georgia. Waits the 1-2. Fouled away again.
And there you see Denton come down with something low in the zone after she got George to chase high. Trying to change that eye level.
Denton with another opportunity for her first strikeout of the game. Couldn't get George to chase there. It's 2-2.
And good discipline right there. Good adjustment for George. You can see maybe nerves. She's settling down.
The 2-2. Put into play, base hit. It gets between Buck and Copeland. And they're going to hold Stubbs at third. And look at Hannah George. She'll turn a single into moving into scoring position. They're second and third with one away.
And how about Hannah George? What a great at-bat. She battles off and then gets a pitch right there that she can handle and drives it in that 5-6 hole.
And George hustling the entire way. And that'll bring Maddie Bumgardner to the plate with a chance to give the Georgia Power the first lead in this 14A championship. At the knees, called strike. What are you thinking as a pitcher here?
She's really got to find the zone. Even with George last time, she was up in the zone. She's just got to settle in and try to get an out right here.
No one upstairs. It's 1-1.
One thing that I really liked by Hannah George, and some of these players will learn, is she saw that throw came all the way through to home plate, and Hannah George takes that extra base, and now you got 2 runners in scoring position.
Pitch that looked well outside of the zone is hacked foul. And Den with another opportunity for a strikeout. Stubbs draw a 4-pitch walk. She's at third. George singled right after her. Here's the 1-2, popped up and out of play.
Denton again working that rise ball, throwing up in the zone. I'd like to see if maybe she has an off speed. Everything seems to be pretty hard. See if she can change speeds right here.
Down and outside, snap throw by Fitzner over to Buck at third, but Stubbs back in there in time. See what Den does with the 2-2. Nice glove at third by Buck. She goes home and she has caught Stubbs in a rundown, but the throw back to third not in time. Bumgarner is going to reach on a fielder's choice. And the bases are loaded for the Georgia Power here in the first inning.
But what a big-time play by Buck, the third baseman, to keep that ball in the infield. That's not an easy play. The ball was hit pretty hard. She takes a couple of steps to her left and at least knocks it down, saves a run right there, possibly two.
So Maddie Clay with a big opportunity here in the top of the first. Georgia Power with the bases loaded. Tybee Denton trying to pitch out of a huge first inning jam. Almost hit her. Snap throw back to third. This one's going to scoot away for a second, but Buck able to recover.
Give an assist to the umpire right there. He kept the ball in the infield. That ball gets past him. That could be a run.
Stubbs is at third. George at second. Bumgarner at first. And Denton's got to find the plate here on the 2-0. 3-0 now.
Nice job by Maddie Clay. Taking her pitches, being patient up there. Make Tybee Denton throw strikes.
Bases loaded, 3-0. And another 4-pitch walk. Stubbs comes in to score the first run of the game for the Georgia Power.
And Bertie, going back to the time limit games, it is important to score early because you are limited in time. And then also in a championship game, you want to get those nerves out. You want to get on the board first.
And so the infield for the Georgia Power over to talk to Tybee Denton. It was not the start that she had hoped for. 2 big walks there in the first inning. And a big opportunity for Elena Reese. And finally Denton comes in and gets a called strike.
And that's a great job responding from your timeout right there. Let the nerves settle in. Come back, go right at the hitter.
Big opportunity for Reese. She watches one up and out of the zone. It's 1-1.
And Denton had thrown a couple ground ball outs, and that's something she could do right here with bases loaded.
Reese has had the highest batting average of anyone on the Georgia Power here in the Champions Showcase. And what an opportunity to come through with a clutch hit here. The bases are loaded. 3-1 now. Then trying to avoid back-to-back walks. And that is indeed what happens, unfortunately. The Power leading 2-0 on back-to-back walks. And time is called now as the Georgia Power head coach has to talk to the team. Jose Tunyan is going to make a pitching change. We'll take a timeout here from Georgia. The Power leading the Cobras 2-0 here in the first. Power trying to get out of a jam. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. Big spot here for the Worth Cobras. They have the bases loaded, 2 runs already in, and Emily Buck is going to move from third over into the circle to try to end the damage. Sophia Tunyan at the plate. Straight A's for Buck. But she's looking for nothing but strikes here in relief. Trying to get out of this jam.
And that's another thing you see with tournament ball is she came straight from third base to the mound here to pitch. Already warmed up.
It's a completely different mentality than you have at the college or professional ranks where you have that long period of time. You see Tunyan off-routed and bunts it foul. It's 1-2. Julia Feisner moves over to third base.
An interesting call right there by Coach Tunyan. Maybe he saw something with the defense, trying to lay a bunt down, bases loaded.
Swing and a miss, and Buck comes in and gets a huge strikeout for out number 2.
And Bernie, you said it, that's a huge strikeout to come in with bases loaded. Look at that changeup, just drop. Nice job of mixing speeds right there by Buck.
And so there's 2 away, and Taylor Cates still trying to make this a big inning for the Georgia Power.
And that's where if you're Buck, you can't let up here, still bases loaded.
Gets a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
And that's what you want from your pitcher. You want her to come in and you want her to go at hitters.
Taylor Cates with a big opportunity. Did she go there? She did. She's behind 0-2.
What I really like is the mix, the 2 pitchers right here. That's what I was wondering earlier with Denton, if she had that off speed. Well, now you see Buck coming in here and mixing speeds. Nice job on the changeup.
The 0-2. Yes. This one scoots away from the catcher, but not far enough. So they hold. Baumgartner at third. Clay is at second. Reese at first. Buck trying to get back-to-back outs in relief. The 1-2 put into play. Copeland, the shortstop, over to first. That'll end the threat. The Power leave the bases loaded, but they score 2. The Worth Cobras with their first chance to hit when we come back to Woodstock, Georgia. Welcome back. Beautiful ballpark here just outside of Atlanta. What a great weekend of softball it was, and I don't know about you back in your travel ball days, but do you remember playing at facilities like this?
Not very many. This is a very nice facility, very well-groomed field. They've done a nice job all week of putting on a great tournament. That goes a lot of credit to Stacy Tambora with Champions Fastpitch. But what a great facility.
Big opportunity here. Georgia Power, they're already up 2. This is a look at the Worth Cobra lineup trying to answer here in the bottom of the first inning. As they go up against Aaron Gallagher. Walker Wickland, Avery Webster, and Jasmine Copeland, the first 3. And it's always got to be a little bit different when you're a pitcher and you go out to the circle and you already had the lead.
It does help, but you also want that mentality of you still want to be aggressive. You know, don't let up. It's just a 2-0 lead. But it is nice to know that your offense is going to help you out.
Wickland, class of 2019, takes a look at a called strike.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to go at these hitters. You want to throw strikes. Let your defense work.
Wickland, Webster, Copeland, the first 3. This grounded to third, and Reese with a great glove for out number 1.
Yeah, nice job. There's a nice pitch by Gallagher. Something a little off speed down in the zone. And again, 2 pitches, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nice job.
So a quick first out, and that'll bring Avery Webster to the plate, the first baseman. First pitch up and out of the zone. Webster, center fielder, third base, first base. This one popped up and caught out in center field. Swanek makes the play.
And once again, Gallagher throwing strikes. But these Cobra hitters are being aggressive as well, which I like. You like to see them get up there and take their hacks.
So the speedster Jasmine Copeland, who plays both short and outfield, looks to become the first hitter for the Worth Cobras to reach here in the championship. This one put into play, into center, and almost caught by Swanek. It's off her glove. Copeland into second with a 2-out double.
And how about that right there? You forget you're watching 14U softball when you see plays like that. A great hit, and then check out this effort by the center fielder. I love her effort. She lays out, and Copeland's running the whole way. She doesn't slow down and gets a double out of it.
Emily Buck at the plate. Line but foul.
And if you're Gallagher, you have to take notice of this Cobra lineup. They're coming up here. They're aggressive. They're swinging early. They're looking for first pitch strikes.
And this one lined over the glove of the second baseman, Cates. Run number 1 of the ball game comes in as Jasmine Copeland comes in to score. Big 2-out rally brewing.
Yeah, nice job with 2 outs there, and you see Buck get a pitch down the middle, kind of inside-out swing, takes it to the right center gap, and scores Copeland easily.
Sadie Waters now the center fielder. Bouncing ball, base hit, gets through. Back to back to back hits with 2 outs. And the Worth Cobras with 2 aboard.
And something different in travel ball, you might not necessarily have scouting reports like you would see in the college or the professional game, but these 2 teams have played each other a lot. They're from the same area. They just played each other on Friday. So they know each other, they know the pitchers, but they obviously, this Worth Cobras, they have a plan. Their plan is to go up there and they're to look early in the strikes, or to look early in the count.
Did you like it as a player when you knew the pitcher well that you're going up against?
I did. I think at this level I didn't quite understand that yet. You know, that's kind of the fun thing of being young, is you just go up there, sometimes you don't even know any better, but if you've seen a pitcher, obviously as a hitter, it's going to make it that much easier to hit.
Julia Fitzner, the catcher, with 2 on and 2 out. 1 already in, and the Cobras with a chance to tie it here in the bottom of the first inning. And look at this, heads up base running. Buck takes 1 extra bag. She's in at third, and they're on the corners now. Duo called strike.
That's a great pitch right there. Really painted the corners. Even on 2-0, you don't want to throw anything down the plate, but hit a nice spot there by Gallagher.
Gallagher got 2 quick outs to start the contest. Then the Cobras bat started to come to life. Here is a pop-up that's fouled away.
Showing a little respect for Tugnon's arm back there. I'm surprised that Waters hasn't taken off. You got runners at first and third. I was expecting to see her go. It could be respect to your catcher back there in her arm.
Here's the 2-2. Runner going on the 2-2 pitch, but it's fouled away.
And this is fun, Brandon. This is where you were talking about, we're really seeing the evolvement of our game. It's fun. These athletes, some are going to be freshmen in high school, some are going to be sophomores, but just to watch their level of play and the way that they understand the game. You can see as a sport where we're really evolving.
Runner holds this time, the 2-2 fouled away again. What has changed the most even from when you played at 14A?
Well, to be honest, I actually didn't play at 14A. I was playing baseball at that time, but...
See, that's something that's changed,
so that's
right?
changed quite a bit.
Here's the 2-2. Put into play again, slow roller. Reese has got to hurry across the diamond, and the play made in time to retire the side. The Cobras stranded opportunity, and they leave two, but they get one back. One inning complete here, and the USC Elite Select Champion Showcase Georgia Power up a run. 2-1 our score here in the second inning. Emily Buck in relief of Tybee Denton, who started the contest, and she did a great job at a gigantic jam. The Power had the bases loaded. She comes in and gets a strikeout to Sophia Tunyan, and then a ground out to Taylor Cates. This is Daisy Hess, the shortstop, leading things off here in the top of the second. What impressed you about the way she came in and was able to clean up the mess?
And she came in just really unfazed with her situation that she was in. Came in and got two big outs where the Power could have broken that open.
Clean slate here to start the second. With the bases clear. And the good news for her is the offense started going for the Cobras as well in the bottom of the first. Certainly is a game of momentum, isn't it?
It really is, and both teams have been playing all week. You know, it's not like they've been sitting around, so both have seen a lot of pitches. They've been in a lot of situations. So as a pitcher, you have to understand that.
1 and 2. And this one put into play, line into center. A leadoff single for Daisy Hess.
And I'm not sure they understand nerves, really. You know, I don't know if they understand nerves of playing on ESPN, of being in a championship game. This is just another game to them. Has a nice job of getting a ball that had quite a bit of plate on it and just drives it back up the middle.
So there's one on. And nobody out, and Swanek bunts, but bunts foul.
We saw the leadoff batter, Swanek, try to lay down a drag bunt last time. Now it looks like she's just trying to sacrifice, move Hess over into scoring position. And it just shows me, too, that they understand the value of these runs and scoring early.
Swanek, center fielder from Dalton, Georgia. She was all region in high school as a freshman. See, the fun fact for her is that she's always smiling. It's always good to have somebody on your team that's smiling all the time.
You always like those people, right? Keep it happy. I noticed that quite a bit with this Georgia Power team as I was talking to them before. They definitely enjoy themselves and have a good time out here on the field, which is important.
The 1-1. That one letter high, called strike on the inside corner. And Buck with a chance to get her second strikeout of this 14A championship game. Swing and a miss. One out here in the second.
That's a big pitch by Buck right there. I really like her mentality on the mound. But pulls the string, comes with that changeup, does a nice job of hitting her spot low and away. Big strikeout there once again.
So 1 on, 1 out. And here's Brianna Stubbs, who scored the first run of the contest for the Georgia Power, swinging at the first pitch. This one popped up. And some miscommunication there between Rogers, Copeland, and Fitzner, because that one somehow found a way to find the dirt.
They're kind of in a triangle out there in the 5-6 hole, and Stubbs is a lefty, so when she hits this, it's got a little spin that's going to move away from the shortstop. You'd like to see somebody take charge. That's going to be a hard play for the third baseman. I'd like to see the shortstop Copeland go over there, take charge, and make a play. Something that they'll definitely learn as they move along.
So 2 on and just 1 away, and Hannah George at the plate. George singled her first time up. This one rolling around in the dirt. And a quick throw back. They tried to get Daisy Hess back at second, but she's able to get back safely. Got a lot of confidence throwing the ball around the infield, the way these catchers have here in this championship game. well out of the zone. It's 2-0.
Yeah, sending a message to the runners that, hey, I will throw the ball down there. Let's keep them honest. Their leads are getting a little bit too big.
Finally a called strike 2-1, and they've caught Hess in a rundown. Quick throw back to second, and Ruzicka can't handle it.
And a smart play by Stubbs there just to run all the way, or to, sorry, excuse me, Hess. Once she saw the throw going down to the third baseman, she just turned and sprinted all the way back to second. But again, you're seeing the catchers be aggressive.
Two on and just one out. Buck with the 2-1. Didn't miss by much, but it's 3 balls and a strike. And Georgia Power looking to load them up in back-to-back innings.
And not a bad spot by Buck. If you're gonna miss, especially to a 3-hole hitter like George, you want to miss off the plate.
George draws the walk, and Georgia Power has the bases loaded here.
That's not too good at bats for George. We saw her in her first at bat, she fouled a bunch of pitches off, finally got a pitch she could handle and hit the 5-6 hole. And now you see her really get more discipline at the plate there, lay off some pitches, and draws a big walk.
So Bumgardner with a big opportunity here with the bases loaded. Swing at the first pitch, popped up on the infield, and this one is going to be caught by Webster. It's a big out.
That is a big out, and something with Bumgardner, and I like her being aggressive. You might want to see her have a little bit more discipline, especially after you just saw the walk to Hannah George. Try to get something more in the zone with bases loaded there and an opportunity to break this open for the Georgia Power.
So it's up to Maddie Clay to keep the inning alive. And she swings at this one, and this one is turning, and it will go foul and out of play.
And Bernie, this is what's fun too about this 14U level and being able to play in a championship game is these players are going to learn. You know, some of the things like with Copeland not taking charge there, but that's something she'll learn quickly, especially in championship games. But it's good for them to get out here and get that experience, things that are going to help them play at the next level.
Oh, one slow roller, but foul. And now Buck. One pitch away from ending the second.
And again, Buck's mentality out there on the mound, she's a fighter, she's a competitor. I haven't even seen her crack a smile or anything yet. She's very serious, she's very composed.
0-2, foul back and away. Bumgardner staying alive.
But you always like that with your pitchers. I love playing behind the pitchers that were just competitors. Give me the ball. I want to be in this situation. Bases loaded, one out. I come in, relief. Give it to me. I'm going to go at these hitters. I love playing behind that kind of pitcher.
The 0-2. Gets through. Base hit. Hess comes in to score, as well as Brianna Stubbs. It's 4-1.
That's one of those balls that just had eyes. It barely sneaks past the pitcher and then again just gets past the shortstop. She's able to knock it down enough, but you see Stubbs hustling all the way with 2 outs. She rounds third and scores easily. Good heads-up base running by Brianna Stubbs.
Maddie Clay with 3 RBIs in this championship game. Reese's turn now. Foul tips the first pitch. It's 0-1.
And for Maddie Clay, nice job of stepping up with 2 outs right there and coming through, and 2 big RBIs. Again, we talk about the time limit. It's important to score early.
A 3-run Georgia Power lead. One and one.
you have to still be happy with that last at bat. Not a bad pitch, ball that just found its way. Keep doing your job up there.
3-1. Buck in danger of loading the bases for the second time here in the second. And Reese finally takes a strike and the count is full.
This is where you can learn a lot about one of your young pitchers and how do you respond, because she did do a good job pitching. Now, how do you respond in adversity in championship games like this?
Payoff pitch fouled back and out of play. You like the contact, but just under it. And Emily Buck still hoping for her third strikeout in relief. Here's the payoff pitch. Got her upstairs with a rise ball to end the threat, but one big swing in the inning. Maddie Clay has 3 RBIs so far. Georgia Power up by 3. Welcome back to the USA Elite Select Champions Showcase. 4-1, Georgia Power on top. Let's check in once again with Grace Olson down in the field. Grace?
Thank you. Not just this 14U Georgia Power team here today, but the entire Georgia Power organization is one that really preaches fundamentals. Jay Worley of the organization told me that fundamentals are emphasized continuously in every practice, far much more than game scenario type coaching. And he told me that coming into this game, the team really prides themselves on speed, solid pitching, and that they're a good small ball team. And with that 2-0 early lead and the pitching to get those quick outs, we've certainly seen those fundamentals at play so far. So we'll see if they can keep that pace up the rest of this game, guys.
Thanks, Grace. And that is one of the big core principles of USA Elite Select, as we see Madeline Razika, the second baseman, lead things off. It's Razika, Stan, and Skeen here in the second. USA Elite Select, they really want to educate and make these players as well-rounded as they possibly can.
It really is. That's the whole idea of this USA Elite Select program that's going on. It's about the athlete. It's about this competitive environment. It's about the development of the athlete.
Tap back to the pitcher. And Gallagher retires Razika to start the second.
And no matter what level you're on, those fundamentals, even in the NPF, the top college games, they're always important. You've got to have those basic fundamentals.
Abigail Stanton, the extra hitter, at the plate against Gallagher. First pitch is foul back. Worth Cobras had 2 quick outs to start the bottom of the first, and then they had 3 hits in a row that scored Jasmine Copeland for their only run. The 0-1 popped up and caught out in left field by Stubbs. And almost a replay of the first inning, 2 quick outs here in the second.
Once again, this Worth Cobra lineup, 1 through 9, they're very aggressive. They're looking to swing early. And again, Gallagher gets the first 2 batters. Now we'll see how she'll respond with 2 outs.
It's Brooke Skeen now. 3-run Georgia Power lead.
Here's another fun thing you'll see in travel ball that could be a little bit different than the college game. You've got 2 extra hitters. So they go down in the lineup as an EH. So the Cobras lineup, they're actually hitting 10.
What a big opportunity for these rosters that are packed with players to have an opportunity to participate and make a big impact in this championship game as well.
Again, and that's what it's about. Both coaches were adamant talking about it's all about the girls. It's about them getting out here playing and developing.
Bouncer to third and taken by Reese across the diamond. We have our first 1-2-3 inning of this 14A championship. Georgia Power, they're going to carry a 3-run lead into the third here in Georgia.
Let's go. Let's get a one. Hey, give me another run right here.
Top of the third, Georgia Power 4 runs on 4 hits. The Cobras just a run so far. Emily Buck starting her 3rd inning in relief. Georgia Power team, they've loaded the bases up in both the 1st and the 2nd, and she looks maybe for her first quick 1-2-3 inning. It'll be the bottom of the lineup. Sophia Tunion, Taylor Cates, and Daisy Hess in that order. First pitch swinging for Tunion. She fouls it away. She struck out in her first plate appearance.
Sophia Tunion, her dad is the head coach, Jose. What a cool Father's Day to spend out here. Which happy Father's Day, Bernie.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
How fun is that? You get to come play for a championship with your dad, play on ESPN, celebrate Father's Day.
She fouls the first 2 pitches away, one down the right field line, one down the left field line. Just has to be special getting to spend the weekends because in Fastpitch they play a lot of softball during the summer. At least you get to spend it with your dad.
You play a lot of games, and it's fun. In our game, you see a lot of dads and daughters. It's a big part of our sport.
Buck tried to fool her with it off speed.
Really what it is you guys, once you have a daughter and you see that Fastpitch is a better game than baseball, you can't get rid of us. I understand. Look at all the dads out here.
In the dirt, it's 2-2. I'm sure the weekend a lot better at the softball field when you make it to the championship game.
It always makes Father's Day a little bit more special. Which, speaking of, I don't know if my dad's listening, but I have to tell him Happy Father's Day as well. He's back in Texas.
Tunion battling here. What do you think Emily Buck and this Cobra squad need to do better defensively?
You know, I think, again, just being aggressive, keeping the ball low in the zone, keeping the ball off the plate is a big thing. And what I've really liked is her changeup. And you've seen the Georgia Power lineup struggle a little bit with that off speed, so I would take notice of that as well.
Popped up and caught by the pitcher Buck. If you think back to that last inning, there was a hit by Stubbs that basically landed in no man's land. That went as a hit, and that was a big difference here. But here we see an easy out and a nice play.
Just got under that one there. Tunion chasing that rise ball, getting under it, and that's what'll happen.
So 1 out, and here's Taylor Cates.
And going back to what you said there, Bernie, that's what happens sometimes. They say it all the time in sports, that to win championships games, you also have to have a little bit of luck. And our game is a game of inches, so sometimes those balls just find those holes.
Three and 0 to Cates. By the way, Tybee Den, who started the game, back in the circle. But Taylor Cates able to draw the walk.
And as a starter, she can re-enter into the game. And then also, because Buck has been in the game in the lineup, she could also still come back and pitch as well.
Well, officially the Worth Cobras only listed 11 in their lineup card, so not a whole lot of opportunities to make some adjustments. Found out earlier from Grace Olson how many players are on the Georgia Power team. Obviously there's advantages and disadvantages both ways, but still probably a big advantage of having a roster of just 11 where all weekend long everybody gets an opportunity to play in every contest.
Right, which you'll see a lot in showcases where you want a lot of the players to play to get that exposure.
Down the line, great snag, but the throw is high. Webster can't track it down. Cates is on her way to third. On a throwing error by the third baseman for the Worth Cobras.
And Buck does a nice job. That ball's hit hard. It's hit down the line. She backhands it. It would have been fair, but then the throw gets away. And sometimes maybe you think you hold on to it, but Buck trying to be aggressive, trying to get that out. Once again, in a championship game, those errors, those mistakes are what is going to come back and haunt you.
So Carson Fallon is going to come in and hit. And take the place of Sydney Swanek. 14A championship. Very young player at the plate, it looks like. Maybe playing up a little bit?
Well, that's a fun thing at this age. I mean, you're going to have some 13-year-olds. You're going to have some of these girls might be going into 8th grade, 9th grade. This is the way that our game works.
Gets down. Fallen with a big hit. In comes Cates. Five to 1, Georgia Power on top.
And how about Carson Fallon? You come in, you have an opportunity off the bench in a pinch hit situation. You got runners in scoring position. Goes with that outside pitch, finds a hole out there in right center, and gets a big RBI. And good job to be ready coming off that bench and to step up in a championship game and get an RBI for your team.
And rightly so, she has a huge smile on her face. Stubbs at the plate in this 5-1 contest. Again, this championship game, 90 minutes or 7 innings, and so starts to really become a pressing point for the Cobras. They trail by 4 and not a whole lot of time left. Bitzner has it get away from her. The second run of the inning in here in the third. It's 6 to 1.
And another reason that you really have to limit your mistakes. I mean, at any point, yes, you do, but it's even more important in this championship game when you are in a time limit. You can't give a team extra outs. And you see that pitch just get away, and a nice job by Hess there, or Cates, to get in.
Well, Stubbs has reached and scored in the first 2 innings. Always good when your 2-hole hitter comes to the plate in the third for the 3rd time of the game.
Yeah, Stubbs has really been the spark plug. She got things going in the first inning. She's been on base all day. You see she's one of those hitters. She's shown drag right there. She was showing a slap. She's also swung away. One of those triple threat type players. You always love having those lefties in that 2-hole position. They can put pressure on the defense.
Watkins scored in the first, singled in the second, but here she's going to ground out to the second baseman. But Fallon does come in to score the 3rd run of the inning, and it's 7 to 1.
And that's one of those, Bernie, we like to call those a productive out right there. A nice job of understanding your situation, not trying to do too much. As a lefty, she gets something. She pulls a little bit to the right side, and that allows the runner at third base to score easily. But that's what you're trying to do. Do your job, get a runner in right there.
And now Hannah George to the plate. She's 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the first and walked in the second inning.
And Hannah George in her first at-bat off of Tybee Denton. Had a really good at-bat, probably about a 10-pitch at-bat, fouled a bunch of balls off, and then got a single in the 5-6 hole.
Deep fly ball to right. Wickland hauls it in. But 3 more come in to score for Georgia Power. They lead by 6 here in the 14A championship game. USA Elite Select Champion Showcase just outside of Atlanta returns after this.
Is there water back there? Is there a water cooler back there? He's got it right there. Somebody says there's water back there.
Bottom of the third inning, USA Elite Select Champion Showcase. Georgia Power, 7 runs on 6 hits. The Cobras with a hit and a run back in the first inning. It was Jasmine Copeland who doubled and came in to score. Cobras about to go through the lineup for the second time in this championship game. And Grace Olson has more on the field. Grace?
Cobra dugout over here. They're down 7-1 obviously, but the coaches are still inspiring the girls. We've talked about how this is a big game scenario for them. They're getting to play on ESPN. It's a big showcase, so they're maintaining that kind of mantra of just keeping them focused, keeping them having a good time out here, and they're just saying, just play your ball. Just play the way we've taught you to play and stay even-keeled emotionally. Guys.
Thanks, Grace. And Taylor Scott now in to pitch for the Georgia Power Red. I'm sure that you've been a part of a number of ball games during your career where you never thought you had the opportunity to work your way back, and somehow the team found their way to the top at the end of the ball game.
Absolutely. One pitch at a time. That's always the philosophy. One pitch at a time, one hitter at a time, one run at a time. You can't look too far ahead.
Cameron Rogers puts this one into play, and it's caught by the shortstop, Hess. Well struck, but right at the shortstop, and there's one away here in the bottom of the third. Sometimes you just catch a bad break.
Yeah, kind of like a check swing there, right at the shortstop. Good job of Taylor Scott coming in and getting outs.
So Walker Wickland was due up in this spot. Instead for the Cobras, they're going to bat their pitcher, Tybee Denton. So it'll be Walker Wickland due up next. It's one of the big things that evolves during the time. Just a handful of pitchers go on to hit, both in the pro league and collegiately, but here in travel ball, it seems like every pitcher can hit.
Yeah, often your pitchers are your do-it-all, and then you'll see as they start to develop in their careers and really focus on pitching, some of them give up the hitting. I was fortunate to play behind some great pitchers who are also great athletes. Well, I'll call them athletes. Great hitters, too.
And Denton draws a 4-pitch walk. And so the Cobras have a base runner here in the bottom of the third.
And that's key right there, to be patient. You need base runners. If you're going to mount any sort of comeback, you've got to take your walks. Again, it's one pitch at a time. Get base runners on and set the stage. You're not going to get this game back in one swing, so you've got to set the table.
Here's Walker Wickland, catcher right fielder for the Cobras. One of her interesting fun facts, she lived in the U.S. Virgin Islands for 2 years. That had to be a pretty good time.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm not sure a lot of softball's being played down there.
I wouldn't mind living in the U.S. Virgin Islands for a little bit.
Wickland lined out at her first plate appearance, chops this one to third. Reese goes to second for one, and the throw back by Cates is offline. And so Wickland is aboard on a fielder's choice, but there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning.
I've really been impressed with the third baseman from both sides and making some big plays. That's not easy over there on the hot corner. There she goes, knows her situation, gets the lead runner. Nice job again by Reese.
Avery Webster at the plate.
Something I've noticed that I really like seeing is we have bios and all the players and who their favorite athletes. Walker Wickland, her favorite athlete is Alex Hugo, obviously a local Georgia player here, but it's really fun to see them watch these female athletes.
Line to Hess. She makes her second brilliant play of the inning, and that ends the threat. Cobras trailing big here in the 14A championship. Georgia Power up 7-1. Welcome back to the USA Elite Select Champion Showcase here just outside of Atlanta. The first of 3 games we have for you on the air from Woodstock, Georgia. Georgia Power up 7-1 here in the 4th inning. Bernie Gunther, Jamie Loprice, and Grace Olson with you. Getting set to be almost the month of Fastpitch. Lots of games coming your way on ESPN from ESPN Wide World of Sports. In July, the NPF, the 12A World Championship. USSSA Fastpitch World Series. And this is what it's all about for these players. It all boils down to having the opportunity to play, especially deep in the summer, and play in these big showcase and championship events.
And how cool is it for these girls who probably just a month ago were watching the Women's College World Series on ESPN and watching some great softball. But for fans, it does not, or for players, it does not stop. It goes all summer long. We used to laugh when we were in college playing double headers how we did that, because in travel ball you might play 4, 5, 6 games a day.
Hannah George, excuse me, Avery Edison is retired for the first out here in the 4th.
I like what Coach Tugnon is doing here. He's giving everybody an opportunity to get in and get this experience. He talked about he's got a deep bench. He's got his whole team from top to bottom has got very great players.
Edison just fouled to get another opportunity.
But I think it's important for all of them to get this experience, to get out here and play at this level, to play against another top team, to play in this environment, to play on ESPN, which, you know, honestly, as a player, once that first inning gets going, you forget that it's even on ESPN.
I guess that's out of all the friends and family that are tweeting you and texting you after the game.
Well, what's funny, yeah, you do get reminded of that. I remember, this is going to date me a little bit, but Twitter wasn't even around when I was playing, so I can't imagine what these players are getting now. Facebook was, and you did get a lot of responses on there. But just where our game is going, too, and you've seen with the SEC Network, you've seen regular season games, all of the regionals, the super regionals, the College World Series. There's a lot of TV exposure on these games. These players are going to be those future college and professional stars.
1-2. She likes to try that third base line. Just an inch or two foul again.
And again, here's another player that's coming off the bench, getting her opportunity, and she's going up there swinging the bat. That's what you like to see.
Edison hitting the spot of Maddie Bumgardner. 2-2.
Pinch hitting is not always the easiest thing. You're here in the 4th inning, you've been sitting, you haven't seen this pitcher. It's a different mentality that you have to go up there with.
It's Buck back into pitch, by the way, for the Cobras. Probably one way to try to keep a lineup off balance. But she's behind at the count here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 3-2. Sky high pop-up. And called for by the shortstop, Copeland. And Bumgardner is retired for out number 1.
What I really like about this play right here is Copeland learning from the previous innings. Right there, she gets another ball that's kind of out there in that triangle. This time, she takes charge, she steps up, calls everybody off, and she makes the play.
Clay at the plate. Bouncer Copeland again fields it across the diamond, but Clay beats it out for an infield single.
Clay with some speed getting down the line there, but another nice job by the shortstop, Copeland. You're going to see her here move to her left, field that ball, gets rid of it quickly, but not in time as Maddie Clay gets down the line quickly there as a slapper.
Well, so for the 4th consecutive inning, George has a runner aboard. Lambie Faust is going to hit in the place of Elena Reese.
How about Maddie Clay's day? 2 singles, a walk, 3 RBIs. Having quite the day out of that 5-hole spot.
I'm sure it's one that she'll remember for quite a while.
Not to mention she's played a solid third base as well defensively. And that's what you look for in these championship games, is who's going to step up. And not to say that Maddie Clay hasn't had a big tournament already, but coming out of that 5-hole position, she's been a player that's really stepped up for this Georgia Power team.
Big cut there, runner going. The throw is cut off by Copeland. A stolen base. And the Power in scoring position again.
And that's showing respect for the Worth Cobras lineup too. Hey, they're not satisfied with just a 7-1 lead. They've got to get runners in scoring position.
Fausto's got a piece of that one and fouls it back. I'm not sure if on the 2-2 earlier, Fausto's just protecting the runner going. He swung it one way out of the zone, but able to connect there. Georgia Power trying to take a 7-run lead.
And a lot of times you'll see that if it's a called steal, the batter in the box is going to swing through the ball, distract that catcher, hold the shortstop, and allow Maddie Clay to get down to second base.
The payoff pitch to Faust in the dirt. And there's another walk issued by the Worth Cobras. I think that's probably the biggest thing that they may look back on and regret about this 14A championship.
Again, it goes back to those giving them extra outs. You don't want to give a team extra outs. So walks, errors, anytime it's going to bring up an extra hitter for this lineup, it's tough to come back from that.
Sophia Tunyan was due up in the spot. Instead, it's going to be Adela Creever. Georgia Power continues to go to their bench. They have runners at first and second.
Yeah, I'd like to see Buck just settle down, keep that mentality that she's had all day, go at these hitters, especially with these pinch hitters who are coming up. They haven't seen her all day. You want to come in, you want to throw strikes early.
See that Adela Craver looks like a deer when she runs. Not going to get a look there. They fired over. And how about the double play turn by the third baseman, Fitzner? And that ends the threat here, sending us to the bottom of the 4th inning of this 14A championship. Fitzner to Webster, retiring the side. Beautiful day for Fastpitch here just outside of Atlanta. Champions Showcase, Georgia Power leading 7-1. For the Georgia Power, it's all about the team, and for more on that, we check in once again with Grace Olson down on the field. Grace?
All right, back to talking about the GAP program again. Jamie just mentioned how these girls just watched older athletes participate in the Women's College World Series, and these girls sure were paying attention. They were watching the Florida Gators compete and watching some of the little hand motions they do and things they do to get everyone excited, build that team chemistry, and really get that team feel going. Well, GAP, about a month ago, one of the coaches, Coach Sean, came up with a slogan that says, always play, we play for each other, and also sisterhood. They want to emphasize the importance of sisterhood with that team bonding, so they created these little wristbands. Everyone's wearing them every day, not only game days, and that's just to emphasize, you know, the team bonding and how that can help them out on the field. Guys?
Thanks, Grace. Hannah George is in to pitch. I would assume during your career, Jamie, that there was so many times that the team bonding and the sisterhood was one of the big reasons why you guys were able to overcome some adversity.
Absolutely. Team chemistry is always going to be a big part of this game. Having those slogans and just, it's like a mission statement, something to go back to.
Base hit. Here in the bottom of the fourth, leading things off. The Cobras are aboard.
How about Jasmine Copeland getting it done on both sides of the field? I really like this player. I think this is somebody to watch in the future. Stays in her legs right there, drives the ball back up the middle. Now 2 for 2 on the day.
And she doubled and scored the only run of the contest back in the first. This is Emily Buck. This is the part of the lineup that the Worth Cobras really had some success with. Their only 3 hits came back in the first. Copeland, Buck, and Waters. Outside of that, the Georgia Power team really able to handle this lineup with ease. Copeland forces a throw down to first.
Well, another big thing that's important is this the first time that they've gotten that lead runner on. And that's a big thing.
Chopped. And caught just in foul territory by the third baseman.
Again, these third basemen are doing work over there. That's not an easy position to play. And they are making it look quite easy no matter who's over in that third base position, both teams.
This one put into play could be 2. But they have trouble with the flip, and Copeland gets to the bag before the Georgia Power team can control the ball. So Buck is aboard on a fielder's choice.
And that's just an unfortunate. She does a nice job. She tries to flip it. It just gets caught up in her glove and can't field it cleanly. I like the thought right there, trying to get the right thing, just got stuck in her glove.
Clay comes in. She is the new shortstop for the Georgia Power. That probably is one of the more challenging things here in these showcase games is they revolve around and they have so many different fielders, so many different lineups. Maybe it makes it a little bit more challenging for you to really feel comfortable in a particular position.
It can, and I think again at this age they don't know any different. You know, this is what they know. They play tournament ball. They're playing 3-4 games a day. They're moving positions throughout. They're showing their versatility. And it's kind of the fun part of this game.
Waters at the plate. Big opportunity here in the bottom of the fourth. Cobras trailing by 6, but they have the first 2 aboard.
Big opportunity for the Cobras to take advantage of mistakes by the Power.
They appeal, and they say indeed she did go.
We talked about on the opposite side where the Georgia Power got those extra hitters. They took advantage of the mistakes, the end of the walks. Well, now here's a chance for the Worth Cobras with 2 runners aboard to get back.
Well, Sadie Waters in her spare time is a part-time sharpshooter. I'm assuming that certainly helps her eye at the plate.
Yeah, no kidding, right? If you have the ability to be a sharpshooter, then I think you can see the ball pretty well. Kind of an important aspect of hitting there.
Big opportunity here, trying to bring in 2. Another opportunity for Clay, and this time she does turn 2. 6-4-3. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth.
And how about that? You asked earlier what college coaches are looking for. They're looking at how do you respond. And that's a big play right there for the shortstop. She gets the same exact ball almost hit to her. Forget that mistake she just made. Flips it over the second baseman and a nice 6-4-3 double play.
Julia Fitzner. Now the final hope, trying to continue on this bottom of the fourth inning. Almost a must-score situation for the Cobras here in this 14A championship. She taps it, Clay backhands it across the diamond. What a glove, what a throw. Clay turns 2, and then a brilliant play ends the threat. 4 innings complete here in this 14A championship. Georgia Power on top, 6-1. Top of the 5th inning, Georgia Power leading 7-1 here in the 14A championship. USA Elite Select Champion Showcase. Seven runs on 7 hits for the Georgia Power, and man, did Clay really showcase her glove after she tried to make the web gem earlier, flipping it to second with the glove. Just couldn't have the transition, and then she comes in with some big plays. The Cobras send Tybee Denton back into the circle here. It's been Denton rotating with Buck. I would think the struggle as a pitcher, though, it may be hard to get into a groove because of that.
Yeah, it definitely could. And once as a pitcher, you want to settle in and get comfortable. As a hitter, you also have to make the adjustment.
This one through Denton's glove, and it goes as a base hit for Taylor Cates, who's aboard for the 2nd time in this championship. She walked and scored back in the 3rd.
It's just another one of those balls that right over the middle of the plate, just has eyes on it once again and gets by right up the middle, past the pitcher and past Copeland at short. We've seen a few of those.
Daisy has singled and scored in the 2nd. Puts the first pitch into play. Rogers corrals it, and there's 1 out. Aggressive hitting here for Georgia Power in the top of the 5th.
And if you're the Cobras, you've got to make sure you keep that energy up. You've got to play like it's a 0-0 game. You got to get outs here and get back on the offensive side and go get some runs.
Sydney Swantik at the plate. Still smiling. She grounded out of the first, struck out in her 2nd plate appearance.
Twice we've seen Sydney Swantik try to lay down a drag. We've also seen her try to sack.
Call and strike, it's 2-1.
This at bat, looks like she's looking to swing the bat.
Center field out of Dalton, Georgia. Reaching as a freshman, and she gets her first single of the championship game. 2 aboard with only 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Swantik going with the pitch. On that one, she gets something on the outside part of the plate. Stays back, sees it deep in the zone, and goes the other way with it.
And so Georgia Power with a chance to add to a 7-1 lead. And not only does they have a big advantage, because coming into this inning, there was only 18 minutes of Fastpitch left, but there also is a possibility of an 8-run rule as well, and if they could tack on 2 more, they would put the Cobras down to their final 3 outs as well.
And there is a little bit of strategy sometimes in games like this, trying to see a lot of pitches.
Hit by pitch is Madison Knepp at the plate. Loads the bases.
Trying to go up and in with the rise ball. Knepp does what you're supposed to do as a hitter, though, turn in and take that on the shoulder. as opposed to opening up. Pitch just kind of got away.
So Georgia Power with a big opportunity to add to an already 6-run advantage. Hannah George, first pitch well out of the zone. What have you liked about the way she's pitched coming into the contest?
Talking about Hannah George, I think she's, she came in and she'd been playing in the field all day, comes in, comes a pitch. She had just thrown the last game, the semifinal game, to get here. Could have been a little tired, but she came in. She's got a chance right here to help herself out.
2-0. And she watches the first 3 pitches, and they're all out of the zone.
We'll see if Coach Tunyoung gives her the green light right here. Bases loaded. You got your 3-hole up, 3-0.
3-1 now.
But as smart, probably taking right there. Got 2 more opportunities to get a pitch.
Caught in center field by Waters. But Taylor Cates will make it 8-1. George with a sacrifice fly and an RBI.
Again, a productive out. It's really a hard hit ball right back up the middle. A nice job by George. But again, what it does, it also extends the inning there. Get another run, put more pressure on the Cobras.
At the plate now is Edison. She came in the place of Maddie Bumgardner. She hit for the first time in the 4th.
I was going to say, I'm really impressed with some of these athletes. I think we've got some kids that you're going to see them for a long time. They're playing at that next level, but I've been impressed with just the athletes, their ability. They understand the game. They understand the situations, and this is what's fun about having these games at the 14U level on ESPN, is these are some athletes that we're going to get to see years down the road.
The 0-2. Oh, there was an opportunity for Fitzner, the catcher. I think it surprised her.
Yeah, I just kind of lost that one. That's where you hope that your corners are also talking to you as well, letting you know where that ball is. And that's something that they'll have to learn, helping each other out. One thing I have noticed is they are a little bit quiet out there, and you don't know if it's all the games they've played or being down 8-1.
But the Power certainly could have been a lot worse than this here in the 5th inning if Denton can get the K. They had the bases loaded.
Just missed on that pitch. As a pitcher, that's a call that you want, but a nice miss if you are going to miss there.
Popped up and caught. That retires the side, but Taylor Cates leads off the inning with a single, and she comes in to score the 8th run. 7-1. Georgia Power on top in the championship. Welcome back to Georgia USA Elite Select Champion Showcase, the first of 3. Heat runs for the Georgia Power. They lead at 8-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Could be the final inning if it goes long enough. They play 90 minutes or 7 innings. Rosika, though, trying to get things started for the Cobras. Rosika, Stan, and Brooks Skeen do up in that order. The first 2 reached in the 4th, but Clay had a ground ball double play. Here, George able to recover. Nice recovery there by the pitcher. And she throws it over to first and 1 away. One of the big things that you see this Georgia Power team align themselves with USA Elite Select is they're very interested in the community aspect of this game. of Fastpitch.
That's something that Coach Jose Tuñon talked about, their whole organization. Something they pride themselves on is being involved in the community, teaching these athletes at a young age that, hey, it's more than just the game. You have a responsibility to give back, and that's something that the whole USA Elite Select program prides on.
Grounded to third. 2 quick outs. Stanton is retired. The defense has been very impressive on the Georgia Power side.
And this is kind of a funny, if you're the Cobras, this is where strategy comes involved. You don't like the outs, but now you might have to turn it over quickly to get back and get to another inning to hit because of that time limit.
Brooke Skeen, extra hitter at the plate. She grounded out in her first plate appearance. 7, 8, and 9. They went 1, 2, 3 in the second. George trying to get him 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the 5th as well.
So it's kind of the funny strategy. We either hit for a long time and score, or if we get 2 outs early, maybe we think about, all right, well, let's turn this lineup over quickly so we can get back and get another chance.
One ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Popped up and caught by the second baseman. They're down in order, the final inning. When we come back to Woodstock, Georgia, Power leading 8-1. Well, plenty of action going on here in Twin Creeks, just outside of the Atlanta area. They're still trying to decide who will play in the 16A and the 18A championship game. Coming your way later today on ESPN here on field number 3. It's the 14A championship game, and it's been an impressive showing by the Georgia Power here. They lead it by 7.
And perhaps one of the most impressive players has been the young lady at bat right now, Maddie Clay, both offensively and defensively. This has been a player that has really stepped up for the Georgia Power in this game. She's been a lot of fun to watch.
2 for 2. Drew an RBI and a walk back in the first. Picked up 2 RBIs and a single in the second. And then she singled in the 4th inning as well.
Don't forget her web gem out there at shortstop. Maybe see that later on SportsCenter.
What a day it's been for Maddie Clay. She's well ahead here. Here's the 3-0. And she draws a leadoff walk. Cobras, we know this is the final inning. They're down to their final 3 outs. They're thinking about a comeback. They obviously want to hold it to just 7. Reese takes a strike at the knees.
And obviously, if you're the Cobras, you can't allow the Power to score any more runs. You can't let them do any more damage. But maybe you're looking for some momentum, too. Something, a big play on defense that can help you transfer that into offense.
Runner going. Clay has a stolen base. Heads up base running by the Power shortstop. One, two. Got her upstairs. Out number one.
And that's a big strikeout right there. She goes with the rise ball up and in, just underneath that. But let's see some energy, big strikeout. Let's get fired up, because again, these outs that you get here on defense, you can take those then into your at-bats in this final inning.
First pitch is in the dirt. Georgia Power with Adela Carver at the plate. They're going to pick up another run. No, the whole play at third. Nice piece of hitting there for Carver. A line drive into center field.
Yeah, that's a great hit by Carver. Again, one of those players who came in off the bench, had a nice pinch hit at bat. Her last at bat, got a pitch right there, drove it hard back up the middle. Great piece of hitting right there.
Taylor Cates has scored 2 of the 8 runs. The throw to second is cut off. And there's 2 in scoring position now for the Georgia Power.
Again, the Power keep putting pressure. You don't want to let up here. You want to keep adding to this lead heading into this last inning.
Cates takes a called strike.
And that's a great pitch right there by Denton. A drop ball really hits a spot on that corner. And that's what you're trying to do. Keep that ball down in the zone. Keep it off the middle of the plate.
Kind of dance out of the way of the 1-1. It's 2-1.
I feel like all day they've really been up in the zone a lot. And it's allowed this Georgia Power lineup to get extended. We're looking to keep the ball down and away from them.
You go down and away there, but it's out of the zone, and it's 3-1. Seems like every time you look up, Georgia Power has the bases loaded.
And haven't had as many hits. You know, they have 7, 8 hits on the day, but they've put the pressure on the defense, drawn walks, errors.
Chopped on the infield. They'll toss it over to first and get the second out, but the 9th run of the game scores.
And again, because they're putting the ball in play, that's another nice productive out. Goes with the pitch. It's what you want to do as a hitter, hit it to the right side of the field. That allows that base runner to score easily from third base. And each one of those runs is very important here in the championship game.
Daisy Hess. What a productive day for Taylor Cates. She scored twice and then gets an RBI there.
And again, that's just being smart, knowing your situation. I was talking to this team before, and Daisy Hess, they call her Sneetch from Dr. Seuss. They said she looks like Sneetch.
Grounds out there, ending the inning. Cobras down to their final 3 outs. Georgia Power looking to be the 14-8 champion, leading up 9-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back here, hard to find a good seat here. It's packed crowd here just outside of Atlanta Woodstock, Georgia Champions Showcase. The first of 3 we have for you today. What a game it has been for the Georgia Power. They have done everything right. We've seen great hitting, great pitching, and great defense. And now in to close it off is Madison Canet. As the Power 3 outs away from winning this championship. Journey that began on Thursday.
Here at Champions, it started off as a showcase, getting some exposure in front of the college coaches, and then yesterday they started the bracket play where it really amped up and got competitive. And talking to both coaches before, super excited to be out here enjoying the experience.
Worth Cobras, they're down to their final 3 outs. Cameron Rogers, who lined out in her first plate appearance at the plate.
Now you hear the cheers pick up over there in the Cobras dugout. Revived a little bit, bringing that energy, trying to get some momentum here. See if they can get something going in this last inning.
2-0 called strike.
And we've seen crazier things happen, right? 9-1 lead, definitely can come back.
Well, Madison Cadet still trying to find the zone. It's 3-1. Trying to close out the game for the Georgia Power. Good comeback pitch there, and the count is full.
This is a smart at bat by Rogers, understanding the situation. You got a new pitcher. Again, as the Cobras, you just need base runners.
Payoff pitch is foul back.
She's done a nice job, though, having discipline, laying off some pitches, making Cadet work, trying to find any way she can to get on base.
Payoff pitch coming again to Cameron Rogers. Put into play, and great glove there by the first baseman, who snags it. Avery Edison with the play.
We've seen it at the third base corner all day. Now you've got Edison over there. Hard shot hit right at her. And this defense for the Georgia Power has stepped up all day making plays.
And the Power now 2 outs away from the championship. Denton at the plate. Takes the first pitch low.
And defense really has been a key all day. This Worth Cobras team, they've swung the bat. They've put the ball in play. I don't even know if they've had a strikeout yet. Which just shows how important it is for a defense to step up and have your back there as a pitcher.
Two and 0. This one put it to play deep left field, but tracked down. And the Power need just one more out.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Denton. Really drove that ball, got a pitch low and in. But a nice job by the left fielder there. She read it off the bat, made a good play deep in left field.
Walker Wickland at the plate. She's looking to reach for the first time in this 14A championship. Power need just one final out.
Again, if you're Wickland with 2 outs, 1 pitch at a time, trying to find a way to get on base.
It's 2-1.
And if you're the Power, that's what you want off of Cadet. Throwing strikes right here. You got a big 8-run lead. Go at these hitters.
They're 1 strike away from being the 14A champions.
Crowd's starting to feel it now.
Cadet, the 2-2, put into play. This should do it. Over to first, and the Georgia Power are the champions here. A huge win. What an impressive performance today for the Georgia Power. Great pitching and a couple of great clutch hits by Maddie Clay.
Yeah, all around a really great game. They came out, they scored early in the first inning. They got a good performance from their pitching staff all day, and I really like the defense. I think the defense stepped up, but the best thing I think this team had from the beginning was their energy. You saw it pre-game and their excitement to be in it, and it carried throughout the game. A great win by the Georgia Power.
Georgia Power, the winners. We'll talk to them when we come back to Woodstock, Georgia. An impressive performance today. Connect with the final out. Georgia Power, the champions. A big win today for the Georgia Power. 9-1 the final score. And Grace Olson is standing by down on the field with the winners. Grace?
Got our wing coach, Coach Young, and Maddie Clay, shortstop, third baseman. Coach, you had the early 2-0 lead. You kept adding to that and getting runners on base, advancing as well, not just being okay with your lead. What do you tell the girls in terms of doing that and keeping that momentum?
Really what we try to do is win every single inning. We can score one run in every inning. I think we put a lot of pressure on the other team and make them have to make plays. And I think the girls did a great job today. They really played well.
And Maddie, okay, 2 singles, 2 walks, 3 RBIs, a run. What a game for you. How do you feel out here? It is quite hot, I must say.
I do feel hot. I feel like we did it as a team, not just myself as an individual, but our team, we had a lot of good teamwork, and the dugout was cheering, and it was fun.
And to schmooze on you a little bit again individually, that throw to first for the final out of the 4th frame, I had coaches in the other dugout saying, that was incredible. That is one of the most solid throws I've ever seen for a 14-year-old.
I don't lift weights.
Well, she doesn't lift weights, but you managed to get it done somehow. And Coach, one of your nicknames is El Jefe, the boss, I hear. So the boss, how would you assess your girls' performance out here today?
All weekend long, they were so amazing. They kept cheering each other on, and it was just an amazing weekend. Thanks to Stacy and Champions for putting this on, and I mean, we're so proud of our Georgia Power girls. Can't wait I wish we could play tomorrow.
Some very mature play out here today, and they maturely played their way to a championship win. So congratulations, girls. Time to celebrate, right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There they are celebrating. Back to you, Bernie.
What a win today for the Georgia Power. The first of 3 that we'll have for you on the air here on ESPN. Coming up next, it's the Georgia Elite and the Atlanta Vipers. We'll be right back here for more Champion Showcase USA Elite Select Softball. For Grace Olson, Jamie Loprice, and our entire ESPN crew, Bernie Gunther is saying so long for now. We'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Congratulations to the Georgia Power, the 14A champions here, and the Champions Elite Summer Showcase.